They thought it was that.
Get on my level, nigga, you wish you could. Don't give a fuck about being misunderstood. I done had many days I was down. I ain't letting up, my time is now.
What's goody, everybody? It's Melody, and I'm back with another video. And today's video is going to be about the lessons of cycles. So before I get into the video, I'ma please ask you to subscribe to my channel. Please subscribe. And if you want to stay in tune with my videos, please hit that little bell to stay in tune with my notifications whenever I do post. And let's get into the video. Lessons of cycles. What are the lessons of cycles? Firstly, what are cycles? So when I speak of cycles, I mean basically the world goes through cycles. The world goes through phases. You know how the moon goes through phases in different cycles, how it wanes, it waxes, it reaches the full moon, it reaches the new moon. These things are the same things that people go through. The moon affects us on a huge scale. But beyond that, it's just the circle of life. Everybody and everything goes through phases. You know, birth, death, life, lessons, whatever it is, we all go through phases and cycles. So with that being said, the cycles that we face in life are basically lessons. They're lessons. You know, it's like school. Like in school, when we taking a class or when we in a class and we got to take tests to get through this quarter or this semester or whatever it is. You know, that's the same thing with cycles. The same thing with cycles. So in life, we experience different situations. We experience different people. We experience different programs and different things in our individual lives as well as collective lives that is a phase. It's a cycle, and it's there to teach either the collective or that individual a lesson. It's a lesson. So when we go through these cycles, sometimes we may feel stuck in a cycle. We may feel stuck in a phase of our life. You know, we may feel like it's no other way around it because we feel stagnant. We feel like we ain't moving nowhere. We feel like we ain't going nowhere. And, you know, you just don't know what to do to get out of this. You feel stuck. And, you know, that's just really what the lesson of a cycle is to figure out what this cycle is trying to teach you. You know, we want to get out of it, but we don't know why we're in it. You know? So the key to it is to figure out what is this cycle trying to teach you. Just like in school, when you going through your lessons in school and you going through tests in school, you know, you want to get to the next level. You want to get past this. But in order to get past this, you got to pass that test. Or you got to get past that curriculum, that certain curriculum, and whatever it's trying to teach you to move to the next level, to be passed on. And that's the same thing in life. You know, that's really what life is, a big, giant university, a school. And it's teaching us different lessons about ourselves and about the world as a whole. And, you know, it gets tough when we don't know what this lesson is trying to teach us. You know, it get real tough because you just don't know. You know, you just feel like you stuck. You feel like you stuck and you can only see what's in front of you. You can't see what's behind what's in front of you. And, you know, my advice to you is to look at the situations around you. Look at the people around you. Are you constantly experiencing the same thing? You know, are you constantly experiencing the same people? You know, is nothing changing around you? What is the people around you doing that might be triggering you? What are the situations around you doing that might be triggering you? It might be something there in that, whatever that environment or that person or that situation, that habit, whatever it is something in it that's triggering you, or it's something in it that's holding you, but it's holding you for a reason. It's trying to teach you something. And it's up to you. You have to be aware enough. You have to be cognizant enough to be like, what's going on? You have to be aware of yourself. That's the number one key to it, is to be aware of yourself. What do you feel when you're around these people? What do you feel when you're around these situations? What do you feel when you're constantly doing this certain habit or this certain thing? What do you feel? How do you feel when you're doing it? Do you feel bad when you're doing it? Maybe that's what this cycle is trying to teach you. Maybe it's trying to teach you that this habit that you're indulging in is not working for you no more. It's time to go to something else. It's time to level up to a new cycle. And that's basically cycles. You know, we never get out of cycles. We go through phases all the time. And I don't mean we don't never get out of the cycle that we feel stuck in, but once we out of that cycle, we go to another cycle. Just like school. Once we, you know, out of 8th grade, we go to high school. You know, it's just something that's above that may be more challenging, and it's something that is molding you into a greater person, molding you for your higher purpose. And we all got a higher purpose, you know, but it's up to you to level yourself up to the point where you can reach that higher purpose. But if you stay in that habit, or if you stay in that cycle for too long, you're going to keep repeating that cycle. You're going to keep experiencing the same people. You're going to keep experiencing the same situations. You're going to keep having to do the same things over and over again. You know, you can't say you want more, but you got to do something different so that you can have more. That's all it is to it, really. And it sounds really simple, but it's not simple at all. It's not simple. You have to be willing to sacrifice. You have to be willing to sacrifice certain habits. You have to be willing to sacrifice certain people. You have to be willing to sacrifice your comfortability in order to be in a higher place. You're going to have to be uncomfortable. You know, being in your comfortable space is not going to help you grow. It's not going to help you achieve your goals and achieve your higher purpose. So basically, that is what the lessons of cycles teach us. And here's an example of me. When I used to smoke weed, and, you know, I would really want to stop smoking weed so bad. And people would always be like, why you want to stop smoking? You know, what's wrong with it? I knew within me that it was keeping me from leveling up. It was stopping me. It was slowing me down. It was making me unproductive. It was making me lazy. It was making me paranoid. It was making me have self-doubt. It was making me have low self-esteem, you know, lower than it already was. And those things were stopping me. You know, it was making me be very, like, delusional in a way, you know? Like, it was warping my vision to my goals. It was warping my vision. And it was also warping my vision. It was opening my vision to what was going on around me. But at the same time, you know, it made me paranoid. It made me anxious about what was going on around me. You know, I clung to weed because it was what I was used to. It was what I was comfortable with. You know, it was a coping mechanism. And it was something I felt like, you know, I felt like if I wasn't smoking, I would feel too far out the loop. You know, this was around my awakening time, my spiritual awakening time. So I felt like that was the only thing keeping me, you know, close with other people or keeping me in tune with other people. But I had to realize that, you know, those situations were not good for me. No matter if I loved these people or if I felt like they was my friends or whatever, you know, I felt like I had to get rid of weed. And I did. You know, it was times that I fell back into it, but this is where you learn how you see a cycle. This is where you learn. Whenever I cut weed, whether it was a day, whether it was 2 days, whether it was a week, whether it was a month, whether it was 2 months, whenever I smoked again, the same situation started back again. The same people started back coming around. You know, that's how I knew it. It had to happen a couple times for me to see it, though. It had to happen, and I would write about it. And that's something that can help you break out of these cycles. You know, that's something that can help you break out of these cycles. If you become aware of what's going on, if you realize that every time you do this certain thing, these certain people or these certain situations start happening again, it's a cycle. It's a cycle, and it's trying to teach you. It's a lesson in that. And it's God. And even sometimes when I would be staying as true as I could to myself, God would test me. And God gonna test you. If you say you want to get somewhere, you say you want to level up to a certain point, and you know you trying to stick to what you trying to get to, God gonna test you. He gonna put certain situations and certain people in front of you that you already know or that you familiar with, and see if you gonna fumble, see if you gonna fold under pressure. And in that moment, you know, you might fold that first time, but as time go on, you have to learn a lesson from that. You got to learn a lesson from that, and that's the lessons of cycles. That is how you learn. You got to be aware of yourself, be aware of your surroundings, be aware of your habits, the people. What are you doing? Whatever. You have to be aware. Firstly, though, aware of yourself. You got to be aware of yourself, because otherwise you ain't going to see it. If you too in tune with what's going on out there, you're going to miss what's going on right here and what's taking you to the next level. So you got to be aware, cognizant. Everything is going on. The whole circumference, you have to be aware. So that's the lessons of cycles, y'all. So if you like this video, please like it. Please comment, leave a comment. You know, leave me some, I don't know. Leave me some type of emojis in the comments if you feel what I'm saying. If you experiencing something like this, leave me some comments below. And if you feel this information helped you out any little bit, please share it, because I know it can help somebody else out there. And also, once again, if you have not subscribed, please subscribe to my channel now and click that notification bell to stay in tune with my videos. Melody checking out.